Hi, I'm Julia Blackwell, and I'm going to be doing a book review over Everybody Lies by Steven Stevens, David Owitz. One of the first things to know about Steven is that he is a former Google analyst, and he also has quite a few pedigrees whenever it comes to education. He has an undergraduate degree from an Ivy League and a PhD from Harvard. So he's kind of well-versed on this whole big data hot topic that's happening currently. What he first does whenever he talks about the book, what he first talks about in the book is what exactly big data is. It's definitely a buzzword in today's social economy, but nobody really seems to know what big data actually entails. And big data is actually any information that can be taken from the internet. So this is anything that you post online to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's words, messages, videos. If you like something, dislike something, all of these it's data and information that can be measured specifically. That's something that's rather important that he touches on, is how important it is that we have these items that can be measured and be used by businesses and people to rate certain things, services, products, businesses. One of the most important things that he talks about is the difference between correlation and causation whenever we're talking about all of these numbers. So with big data, we have mass sets of data points, but it's really easy to say that this is a causation when actually it's a correlation. In my econometrics class last semester, we talked about this very specifically because one of the things that's rather hilarious is that there's a correlation between Nicolas Cage movies and children drowning in swimming pools. Now, of course, those have no causation. The more movies that Nicolas Cage produces does not mean more children are going to die in swimming pools, but it's something that can easily be confused whenever we're working with data points that aren't such polar opposites that you can clearly tell they're not caused by each other. One of the interesting things about his book, Everybody Lies, is that it was actually formed somewhat using Freakonomics as a template, because when he was in college, Freakonomics was released and he loved the book and really wanted to be able to take the concepts of Freakonomics and apply it to different statistic points that he saw in his everyday life so that he could really show the social aspect of Freakonomics as well as far as data analyzing. One of the things that he talked about that was really interesting is that a lot of people, whenever we talk about big data, are really excited about social media. So like I said, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, there's a lot of data that's being exchanged through there, but he actually found that it's more reliable to use Google searches instead of all of the social media sites, because people are a lot more honest with their Google searches than they would be on social media, because people are often known for creating this sort of fake persona online, and that doesn't, while it's good for social media and likes and clicks in the business, it's not good for businesses buying that data, because then they're not really learning about the consumer's buying habits. So another thing that he talked about was the digital transformation of the social sciences. This is another thing whenever we talk about how impactful this is to economics, because we have so much more access to data and information on the internet than we ever had before. But with this many data points, it's often difficult for businesses to be able to search through all of this data. So that's something that IT has really moved towards by using business information and intelligence systems, and you can actually upload an algorithm that takes on your decision-making patterns of the business and is able to sift through all of the data points and only present you with the information that's pertinent to the business. This is interesting because whenever we talk about using an algorithm, you have to be really careful to use an algorithm that you trust and is able to distinguish between data that's truthful and data that's untruthful. And I found that interesting because the book was published in 2017, and now we're seeing a really hot topic of what constitutes fake news. And I think that's really interesting because it's really spanned over the years and kind of predicted a phenomenon that we didn't even know was going to exist in 2017. Overall, I found this book really stimulating and explained a lot of different aspects of what big data can be applied to in economics.